What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here with AC, and we are here for our NFL picks against the spread for week number 12. It is the Gridiron Gamble, where we give you three to four bets every week that you should go out, put your money on. And this isn't suggesting that you should go out and bet, but if you do bet, take our advice, take our suggestions, and maybe roll with them, or take whatever we say and put it in your own context of, okay, I think I was thinking about betting on this game, and then these guys said this about this game, so maybe I should or maybe I shouldn't. So yeah, never. What's your saying there? What's your saying, AC? Never bet what you can't afford.
Yeah, never bet what you can't afford to lose. I haven't bet in a while, just because, not that like I have money in my account. The only reason why I haven't really been betting is because since week 3, when the Eagles went on a run, I haven't been betting and they keep on winning. So me and my superstitious ways, I haven't bet because the Eagles keep on winning. And I'm saying, like, I'll start betting again when the Eagles lose. But for right now, I feel like me not betting is making the Eagles win games. No joke. That's my superstitious. Have you seen Silver Playbook Lining? Like, Eagles, it's all about the juju. That's why underrated, low key. Like, it's an indie movie, but low key, it's about the Eagles. So that's why it's one of my favorite movies. But yeah, I'm all about don't mess up with the juju. I got to sit in the same spot, wear the same stuff, and it's been working. I can't, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's tough to be like it's not working because literally they haven't lost.
I've been there. It's just the team, bro. It's just the team. It's not you.
I've always had a little thing, and then when they lose, I'll go back to whatever. But right now, with this winning streak, everything's been the same, and it's been working out. When it doesn't work out, I know it's not obviously the reason, but when it doesn't work out, we'll switch it up, and hopefully they still can win games. Because then if they start losing, maybe I got to go back to it. I don't know. So it's a big issue.
So let's start off with your first bet of the week. Who do you have, AC? I feel like we're going to have a lot of different picks this week.
Yeah, I think so. My first bet, I don't think you're going to like this because obviously you've been hating on one of the teams, and even though the other team's not great, you've been liking that. But I'm going to take the Titans -3. I know they had a horrible performance against Pittsburgh, but the reason why I'm taking it, because it's only a field goal. And one thing we've learned, people say, Titans, who have they beat? They beat all the bad teams. So I think that continues here. I think they lose. Yes, they lose badly to top-tier talent besides the Seattle win. They won. But
Seattle's not top tier.
Yeah,
Stop it.
Well, I guess, okay, they lose to,
this isn't 2013 anymore.
They lose to pretty much any team in the top 15 even. Like, they lose to the top half of the league most of the time.
Probably, yeah.
So that's why just in this game, I do think Tennessee can pull it out, and it's only 3 points. I think Indy's been slinging it around, but they can't close games. I think the run game of Tennessee is going to be a lot better than it was last week. I think they're going to be able to run the ball on Indy's D. And yeah, no, I know it's on the road, but I think this is a game. We've looked at everything. We've looked at Tennessee playing bad teams, and they beat the bad team. So I just expect that to continue and at least get a 3-point victory.
Yeah, I'm not sold on this one. You know how I feel about the Titans.
No, for sure.
I just don't think that, like, when it comes down to it, I've seen how the Colts have been playing, and they've been playing a lot of good teams pretty close lately. And I think that this is a divisional game where it's going to be like a 3-point. I think they're going to nail this one, Vegas. I think it's going to be within 3 points. And I don't know if the Colts or the Titans are going to win it. But, like, when looking at the Colts, they played pretty well at home. And I'm just not sure how the Titans have not been good on the road. And that kind of scares me, especially Marcus Mariota on the road has typically not been very good. And that's the way they're going to have to move the ball. In the first game, they were able to pass it pretty well, which is the way that they were able to move the ball. The Colts are not too bad against the run. I think that Colts secondary is their weakness of their entire team. Jacoby Brissett, more experience. T.Y. Hilton always goes off at home. Titans can't defend the pass. So I do have concerns about this one.
Yeah. But the way you talk about the Colts, it's very surprising that they have the record that they do. Because what you just stated was like everything super positive for a team that's only won 3 games.
Yeah, but the thing is their defense isn't very good. But I feel like their defense is a defense that doesn't match up terribly against the Titans.
Well, and I'll say this though, the Titans will have, I guess, 11 days because they last played on a Thursday against Pittsburgh, so they have some rest. The one thing I'll say about that Tennessee defense and what I'll say what the Colts have been able to do is big plays. And going into that Pittsburgh game, regardless of what you think about the Titans D, they've given up the fewest 20-yard plus plays in the league, which is pretty impressive, which obviously you can just dink and dunk on them all day, which obviously we saw with Pittsburgh, because even Pittsburgh only had one 20-plus play in that game. So you can dink and dunk on them, but I will give them credit for that because they do not give up big plays. And I feel if we look at Indianapolis, they've had a lot of big plays to score points in the last 3 weeks. So we'll keep our eye on that. I just think I'm going with the favorite here, and I'm going with a team that needs to win, and we've seen has beaten lower competition.
Yeah, I just like looking at the Titans schedule here. This is just a team that I think, just besides the bet, I don't like, this isn't talking about the bet, but this is a team that's most likely going to be a wild card team. And that means you're going to have to play on the road. And I just don't see how the Titans are going to be successful doing that. You know, they've beat the Browns on the road by a field goal, and they beat the Jaguars in week 2 in Jacksonville, which was an impressive win. But the rest of their wins came at home. They lost to the Texans on the road 57-14. They lost to the Dolphins on the road. They lost to the Steelers on the road. So they still, you know, they play the Colts, and the Colts have been better at home. So I just want to see how this game plays out, not just for the bet's sake, but like to see how the Titans are going to do. If they can have a statement win on the road, I think that would be big for their confidence going into the playoffs, because they need that, because I don't think this team really believes in themselves when they're traveling away from Tennessee. So, my first bet of the week, and this sucks, guys, because I went 3-0 on Thanksgiving. I bet on those games. I wish I could have given you my bets for those games, but I can't, because this show doesn't air till at least Friday, most likely Saturday. So it kind of, you know, that kind of sucks. But I do have a couple of other games that I'm confident in to give you. And my number one most confident bet this week is the Buffalo Bills +10 against Kansas City. This is in Kansas City, which, you know, people would be shying away from. But I see Kansas City as a team that obviously can be had. They're playing terrible football. They had to go out and sign an old man at DB to play for them. And that's how confident they feel in their defensive backs. They've been terrible all year. And the Bills, I think with Tyrod Taylor, are going to regain some confidence. I like what I saw from them in the second half against the Chargers, because the first half was obviously not very good. We've seen how the Chargers have been playing, and they've been dominated. I think the Chiefs are feeling the pressure to keep up the lead in the AFC West. Their offense has been shut down lately, and a big deal because of that is because they've been doing all these different gimmick plays, and people have caught up to all these gimmicks that they've been doing, and people have just completely stopped playing man coverage against them, because they're like, okay, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are just going to eat us up. So every defense just plays soft zone, and I feel like that's what the Bills are actually pretty good at with the McDermott scheme. And I think the Bills, with Tyrod, with Benjamin against that secondary, with Clay back, with McCoy, I think they'll be able to do some things offensively to keep this game at least close. Now, I still pick the Chiefs to win this game, but 10 points is 2 scores. That's a lot of points for a team that's playing really bad football and lost to the Giants last week. So I have the Bills +10. How do you feel about that, AC?
I don't mind it. I was looking at that because I do think the Chiefs will win, and I do think Buffalo actually has a good chance to win as well. But I do think Chiefs come on top. But yeah, 10 is way too many points when you watch this Chiefs team play. And like you said, I do think with Tyrod, it helps Buffalo out more. That, you know, they might make some mistakes and they might not play great, but I don't think KC is going to play great. So this is going to be, I think, a 3-point game, maybe a touchdown late that wins it, but it's not going to be anywhere near 10 points throughout the game, in my opinion. So I think it's a good bet to go. I didn't put it down just because I wasn't too sure. We'll have to see, but I more confident than not that Buffalo at least covers for sure. 10 points is just way too much, especially with a team that stinks like what KC's doing right now. And Buffalo's not great either, but with Tyrod in, they're going to make it a game. I don't think they win, but obviously 10 points is a pretty decent cover. And
I think that the Chiefs get too much respect when they're at home, because this season, they haven't been too great at home. I don't know if they won a game by more than 10 at home this year. So
yeah, maybe not. Well, probably early on in the season. I think they they beat the Eagles by 10 because they covered.
They beat them by 7.
Was that only 7? Oh yeah, because the last second TD.
20. The biggest game they've won at home was the Broncos 29-19, and that's exactly 10 points.
Yeah,
and that's when the Bills are better than the Broncos, I would say.
Well, and that was when Chiefs were better too.
Yeah, that was a few games ago. So I don't know. I think they get a little bit too much respect still, even though they're playing pretty bad football. So that's my bet. What's your number 2 bet there, AC?
Well, Jeremy in the chat's not going to like this, but I got Carolina minus 5.5 against the Jets.
I agree with you here.
Yeah, I bet against the Jets too when that Bucks pick that I was pretty high on. And that was the last time they played because I think they had the latest bye, right? They were off last week, the Jets.
Yeah,
they were. Yeah. So I just think when we look at that Bucks game, yes, their offense has been moving, but I think defenses have figured out how to stop that, to slow down McCown. They don't have much of a run game, the Jets. And when you look at this too, this is a game, Carolina, the way they're peaking at the right time right now, playing good football, going against a team that they should beat. These are the games where I think Carolina is going to be able to move the ball, power run, power zone, get the ball to McCaffrey. And I think that they're easily going to cover 5.5 against the Jets. The Jets defense has been improving, but I'm still worried about that Jets offense now because they can't run the ball. And then McCown, I think now we're getting later in the season. Can he still be successful like he was earlier in the season? I don't think he is. And I think that game against the Bucks was a big indicator of what their season might look like the rest of the way.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. This was the first game I actually bet on this week. As soon as I saw the line, I was like, that was too few. And it's actually 4.5 at the very beginning. So, yeah, now I think it's changed to rather 5.5 or 6.
Yeah, I saw 5.5 on OddsShark.
Something there. So I have Carolina because I look at the Jets and I just love the Panthers defense, like how they've been playing. They've really never had – they've only really given up big points to the Patriots and the Saints, and pretty much everyone gives up big points to them. And their defense is great against the run, which is the Jets kind of – that's kind of their thing, is if they can run the ball, then they can stay in the game. McCown can kind of, make a couple plays down the field to Robbie Anderson or whatever. But I think their secondaries improved a lot from last year, which not a lot of people have been talking about. I think Bradbury's a pretty good corner there. And their offense is totally different from like the last 3 weeks. If you watch the Panthers the last couple of weeks that they've played compared to the couple weeks even before that, they've completely changed the way they played offense. They changed they traded Calvin Benjamin. They got rid of him. Now they've been doing a lot more kind of like gimmicky, like college, like reverse plays, getting the ball to like McCaffrey in the flats, getting like the ball to Samuel on a reverse, or like just using Cam's legs a lot more, which stretches a defense out a lot more and really stresses them. So I really like what I saw from the Panthers offense, and that's why I have confidence in this game. Earlier in the year, I might be a little scared of this one because the Panthers couldn't score with any consistency. But now I feel like when they ran over the Dolphins, they've had a good game against the Falcons. I feel like this offense is starting to get it going, and I agree with you there. So, yeah, I like the pick. And also, I think something interesting to bring up is Buster Skrine, the corner for the Jets, actually sat down and did an interview with Bleacher Report, and he said that he was watching the tape for the Panthers offense, and they can't actually watch the tape from 3 weeks ago because that's how different their offense is. So that's pretty crazy. That just shows you that they only have a couple weeks to actually prepare for this team. They only have a couple of games of footage to actually prepare for this offense. So I think that's going to be a bad thing for the Jets going in this game.
Well, and it's funny with their secondary because I think Pittsburgh was kind of the same way last year, where I think with Carolina, obviously they haven't had Josh Norman in a while, but like they had these corners that were not playing well but were young, and it was just more of a wait and see thing. And I think Pittsburgh was the same. Obviously, they added Hayden, but some of the
Panthers added Munnerlyn. So
no, true. But then I like you said, Bradbury, right? Like Bradbury was not great last year, but it's one of those things. Just wait and see. And I think just over time with these young secondary players getting better, you see an improvement. Like you have
And they made a lot of nice signings this offseason. I mean, Mike Adams, Marlin, Peppers.
I still think they haven't really played a team that has truly tested their pass defense, but they haven't had to. So I'm not going to take away.
I don't know if you can really say that.
Well, no, but I'm just saying. But they lost those games, right?
Well, they beat the Patriots. They beat the Patriots. They lost the Saints.
Yeah, but I just want to see them in a game against a pass-heavy team because, yeah, they beat the Falcons. They beat the Dolphins. You know what I mean? They haven't played a good. I guess the Falcons, but they really haven't played a good team since the Eagles. Obviously, that Lions win was good, but since the Eagles, they lost to the Bears. They beat the Bucks. They beat the Falcons. They beat the Dolphins since that Eagles game.
And that also shows you that if you're betting on this game, they've handled those teams pretty well.
True. Yeah. Or at least that's why 5.5 is pretty solid. But yeah, that's the bet.
Yeah, that was my other bet. So moving on to my next bet. I don't know where it's at. I bet on the game and it was minus 16.5. So that's where I'm at. I'm just going with it now. I have this feeling now that I've seen how they've been playing, and I'm willing to just do it every week, whatever the spread is. So the Patriots are minus 16.5 this week. And I have another big spread pick as well. I know it's a lot of points, but actually the last 4 or 5 games they've played the Miami Dolphins at home, they've beat them by an average of 21 points. So that's something to look at. I think this Dolphins team is absolutely terrible. I think this Dolphins team, offensively, they might be able to move the ball okay. I think Matt Moore is giving them something, I guess. But you see now the Patriots defense has been playing, and even if the other team's been able to move the ball at some points in the game, they've been kicking field goals. So you're not going to win the game kicking field goals against the Patriots. Jarvis Landry typically has good games against the Patriots. But defensively, I do not know. Like, this is like the Raiders game. I do not know how they're going to stop the Patriots. They don't have a pass rush. Their secondary is awful. They're the worst tackling team in the entire NFL. And when you can't tackle against the Patriots, that's definitely a problem because they'll just hit you for 5 yards every play, and then it will turn into 15 yards. So, yeah, I just look at this game. I think Brady's playing great. The offense is really playing the best it has all year, I think, these last couple of games. And I don't know. I think the Patriots are on a roll. I think they're starting to get that push into the playoffs, and I think this is going to be another game where they just put it on their opponent. I know it's a lot of points, but I'm willing to, just bet on the good teams now because I know who's actually good and I know who's bad. So I'm willing to say, okay, yeah, Patriots minus 16.5.
Yeah, I don't like big spreads that much, but like you said, the defense has improved. The offense is rolling. You're playing Miami, who I've thought since the beginning of the season, I thought was doo-doo. A lot of people like them because they made the playoffs last year. But I like even week 1, 2, even when they were winning games, I was like, no, this team's not good. And then obviously we've seen that. They easily can do it. I'm just always afraid because, 17 points, they could have a easy victory. They could be, it could be like a 20-point game, the whole game, and then Miami gets a touchdown late when the backups are in.
I'm curious, what's your score projection for this game?
I think it's gonna be really close to 17. I would say. I'll say spread. Yeah, I'll say, yeah. So I guess when you say it that way, like I'd say like 40-20 or something like that, which is a cover.
Yeah. So like if you're thinking,
but I think it's pretty close.
That's 17 points.
Yeah.
If you're thinking,
I know. I think they're gonna score
27-10. That's 17.
But that's what I'm saying. But then I think Miami's gonna be able to score 20 points.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying is, if that defense just makes like one stop,
but
to make
again,
it 35-20.
a team hasn't scored 20 points on the Patriots in like 7 weeks.
Yeah, but I don't know how much we should look into that as because the level of their talent they've played hasn't been great.
Yeah, but are the Dolphins great?
No. Miami does play somewhat decent against the Patriots. We've seen this historically that they have upset the Patriots and when they were in bad positions before. I just think 17.5, I would never put money down because it would just be shitty to watch because even if it's a 14-point game and the Patriots are winning.
I'm watching the game anyway.
No, 100%. But it's just like when you're trying to cheer, when it's a 14-point game and it's pretty much over and you're trying to cheer for more points, and then the other team, garbage time, the other team can come down and easily break the spread. But odds are the Patriots should win by that. I just always kind of stay away from that, even with the Eagles. But I think there's one big spread that I actually like.
That's a fair point.
There's one big spread that is one of my picks that I really like. I think your spread's probably the same.
All right.
Like that, your other big pick would probably be the same, I'm assuming.
Okay. We'll see. Well, who do you have?
Well, do you want to go to that one? Because mine is on Monday night. Do you have that one too?
No, I have a different one.
Oh, you have the Eagles then?
Yep, I have the Eagles.
Okay, well, I'll just go with my third one then. I got Jacksonville -5 against Arizona.
This is I've considered this one too.
The big reason why I have this is because they're going to be able to stop Arizona's offense. Because if we look at Stanton's never seen a defense. He's only been playing like 2 weeks. He's never seen a defense like what he's going to go up against. And watching Stanton,
isn't it the Magic Man playing this week?
Oh, Gabbert. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, well, even better. I'd be more worried about Stanton than I would be against Blaine Gabbert.
I actually like Gabbert more, but that's just my opinion. I don't know.
But anyways,
not
regardless
that it matters
of that,
too much, but yeah.
But then even better, because I think Gabbert's never seen a defense like this. Like, I guess he somewhat saw it firsthand, not much. He saw little pieces of it. But now, like, the way this defense is playing, Blaine Gabbert is not going to get you. They're going to be able to stop the run with Peterson. Their corners are going to be able to stop one receiver, basically, in Fitzgerald. There's nothing Arizona can do offensively against this defense in this game. And I think that Jacksonville will be able to score at least a couple touchdowns. I can see this being a low-scoring game like they have been winning, like, 20-10, 17-7, something like that. Just I think this whole game is going to be Jacksonville's defense just owning that Arizona offense.
Yeah, I agree. Nothing really to say.
No. Yeah, I like that. So a lot of
I think a lot of people aren't giving enough respect to Jacksonville. I think I've seen that in Vegas. They haven't given them enough respect to me.
Yeah, like it's tough too, because it's like teams like I haven't really been able to watch a lot of full New Orleans games. You know what I mean? Even the Rams, like Jacksonville, haven't been able to watch. It's like because the main games that are always on are Pittsburgh's, New England's that you'll see probably 4 or 5 times, 6 times, like a full game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because the Thursday night games, except for that one time, no, not even. Like the Thursday night games haven't even been that great besides Panthers, Eagles. You know what I mean? Like we haven't been able to see some of these teams that will start playing on more prime time down the road, which I'm looking forward to because I haven't really gotten to watch a full Jaguars game, like a full Saints game, a full Rams game, which I really want to. But like you see the Cowboys, you see the Giants, you see the Redskins like 6 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh, you'll see them 6 times a year on prime time. Like even you see the AFC West so much, on TV, regardless of who it is. It's one of those 4 teams are normally on a primetime game once a week.
Actually, it was nice to see the Chargers on primetime.
Yeah, no, that was good. But obviously, it was because they were playing Dallas. But like, even look at all those Monday. Like, how many times have we seen the Broncos play on primetime this year?
A lot.
And it's
like
stupid.
5.
It's just like I'd rather see a team like we know what the Broncos are about now. So it should be interesting. But yeah, I would like to see more of these teams down the road actually play a full game.
Okay. Another big spread pick for me is Philadelphia. I'm not sure if it's 13.5 or 14. I just think I'm looking at this game. This game's in Philadelphia. And I think Chicago is one of the worst teams that could possibly match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Like,
I agree.
They're a decent team, don't get me wrong, and they fight against a lot of teams, and they're close, and they even upset some teams. But like the way that they are built, it doesn't work because the Eagles, and you'll talk about on offense, their offensive line has been really good, and the Bears' strength on defense is their defensive line and their linebackers. And even then, they're hurt. Like, they're banged up. and they're playing the Eagles offensive line. I feel like that kind of just crosses each other out right there. And then you look at the Bears secondary. It's a zone coverage scheme that if there's time for the quarterback, they're going to eat him up. And I think that's what Carson Wentz is going to do. And then defensively, I don't see how the Bears are going to move the ball very much in this game. The Eagles have the best run defense in the league, and that's what the Bears do is run the ball. I think there's going to be it's just going to be Bears are going to pound it like 30 times, but it's going to be like for 3 yards a carry. And then Trubisky's going to try and throw the ball, but nobody is going to be open because his receivers all stink. So, and the Bears' offensive line is pretty good, but like pass blocking wise, it's not the greatest. It's better run blocking. So I look at this and I'm just like, everything that the Eagles do really well is like just crosses everything out that the Bears do good. You know what I mean? And then I think the Eagles can take advantage in those other areas, like Carson Wentz throwing the ball, the Eagles' pass defense. So I think the Eagles should be able to cover this pretty easily, especially at home and especially the way that they're playing. So I have the Eagles minus whatever the spread is.
Yeah, no, you could easily take that. And when you go to matchup, I think, the Bears against even doesn't matter who they play. If they go against a poor run defense, their team's going to look a lot better. Yeah. Because the defense gets pumped too. They keep the time of possession going. And even when they're not scoring points, but they're still running the ball, it's somewhat good for them. We've seen them play some top teams close. But like you said, like the Eagles run is going to just collapse on the run, and they're going to force Trubisky to make passes. And like you said, no receivers, not a lot of threats. And
even though I will say Trubisky's been better as of late.
No, he will be better, but like to stop the Eagles, you're going to have to pass. And I think the only reason why we saw Alfred Morris have a good run game is because they didn't want Dak to beat them. So I think a lot of the way even
though the Chargers showed that it didn't matter.
no, true, but it blitzed. But like even if you look at the numbers, Chargers did somewhat sort of the same thing, right? Like the numbers were still around 90 yards or something like that rushing. But yeah, the Eagles it should be an easy win. I do think that Chicago defense is decent, but I think this just comes down to the Eagles defense is not going to give that much away to the Chicago Bears.
I could easily see this being like 30-10.
Yeah, like I could even actually see it like even less than that. I could see like 24-7, like 30-10. Yeah, exactly, like 30 to I don't know. It's going to be tough. The Eagles have been good tackling, and plus their DBs have been playing really well. The whole defense is playing really well, so it should be a cover. But you never know. Any given Sunday,
you never know. All right, so that's all our picks, right?
No, and then my last one.
Okay.
Green Bay against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh minus 14. Take the points. It's in Pittsburgh, I believe. Yeah,
it's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's been playing really well lately. Like even just that last Thursday game was awesome to watch. And Green Bay's just bad. Huntley's not the guy. They can't do anything. Rodgers makes that team tick, and even their defense, who at times looked a bit better at the beginning of the season with Rodgers, because I think that was a big factor, has now kind of reverted back to it's tough for them to stop because they don't have those big names like they did when they won the Super Bowl. So I think it's going to be an easy cover for Pittsburgh.
All right. Yep. I don't really have a problem with that. Monday night, Antonio Brown should go off again.
Yeah.
So those are our picks for week number 12. Let's get to the chat real quick. Just starting off, Ultra has his power rankings out for this week. He says, I've been doing this for weeks. Eagles number 1, Patriots number 2, Saints number 3, Vikings number 4, Steelers number 5, Rams number 6, Jaguars number 7, Panthers number 8, Falcons number 9, and Lions number 10. For myself, I would have Eagles, Patriots. I would have Vikings.
Yeah, me too.
Then I would have have Vikings. Then I would actually have Steelers, Saints. Then I would have Panthers, Rams, Jaguars. I don't really know the rest of the teams. Probably Falcons, Lions sounds about right. How about you, AC?
Yeah, no, I'm more similar to you. I'd have the Vikings ahead of the Saints. I think, yeah, obviously you could have the Steelers. I think you almost could probably have, just with that offense, I guess right now, if it's a power rankings right now, it's hard to put the Steelers in front of the Vikings, but I think you could make the case for the Steelers to go ahead of the Vikings. But yeah, and then I go Saints. I'd have the Rams still ahead of the Panthers, but I think that easily could change.
I'm just kind of looking ahead. I think the Panthers.
Yeah, no, I think by the end of it, yeah, I think we'll be saying that just because the Rams do have a tough schedule. Yeah, Falcons, Lions. I think I'd still put right now. I think just because with their record, I think I'd have to have the Titans ahead of the Lions record wise.
Ooh, I don't think so.
No, I'm saying record wise because it's gonna be tough for the.
Aren't they the same record? No.
Well, because they're 6-5, right?
Oh, okay. What about the Seahawks? No Seahawks in there?
No, Seahawks are done. Like I think they're gonna win. But if we're looking at that game, especially how the 49ers played the first time around, I don't know. I think it's like 7 points where I think I might take San Fran covering. Game last week, man. He's got confidence.
I guess. Maybe he's reading his press clippings though. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Pump him up even more.
King Voodoo says Dilly. Ghost says Dilly. Ghost says Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah.
King Voodoo says, I haven't had a shower since week 3 and the Saints keep winning. Just kidding.
You got to do that, man. Whatever it takes.
Ghost says I like the Titans this week. Derrick Henry might have a good day. He does say 23-20 Titans though. Yeah. So that would be a cover.
No, but it would just be a wash, so I get my money back, which is not a big
3.5 now, isn't it?
No, I had 3 on Oddshark.
Okay. Jeremy says Jets 27, Panthers 24. He is a Jets fan, so keep that in mind. Ghost says
Panthers win by 6.
Ghost says, what happened to Vontae Davis? Vontae Davis got hurt and then cut.
Do you ever see that YouTube video when he got traded from Miami and he was like crying?
No.
Yeah, it was on Hard Knocks Miami and he got traded to the Colts. And like at the time, like he had no idea what was going on. He was like so shocked. It's pretty crazy. It's on YouTube.
He got traded for like a first-round pick, didn't he?
Something like that. It was still decent. Yeah, oh, for sure.
Jeremy says there is only 2 active NFL players from the 2002 draft. I couldn't even guess who those players are, to be honest. Josh McCown and Julius Peppers, he said.
Yeah.
Ghost says Kansas City might choke to the Chargers. Jeremy says, so you like the Patriots. Oh, yeah, Ghost is a Patriots fan. Welcome, Ghost. Jeremy says he thinks the Jets are the second best team in the AFC East.
Yeah, it's tough because I still think we'll have to see right now because of the way Pittsburgh has lost the last couple games. It is tough to put Pittsburgh ahead of anyone. But I think if we've talked about this, the AFC East went very quickly to the best division for a while there to the worst in a matter of 3 weeks.
That is true. Not going to debate that. King Voodoo says, wheel fell off the Bills wagon. I wouldn't place money on a Bills game.
True, which I do somewhat agree with because if you look at how they've played and when in games that I bet, like some random wins and random losses, they've been all over the place. Like when they lost to the Dolphins. Yeah. Remember that? Like there's just been some weird games for them.
The Bills? They didn't lose to the Dolphins.
What was the game? There was a game earlier in the season, like second or third week that they lost. I'll find out. You can move on. I'll find out what that game was.
Mr. Mike says AC 12-3-17 drop Eagles drop. Hashtag
that's when
Hawks.
Yeah, that's when they play the Seahawks next week, Sunday night. Yeah, we'll see. Like, to be honest, though, it's when I saw the Seahawks lose back-to-back games at home, basically, to, I'll give the Falcons credit. They were playing better, but, the Redskins, they easily could have watched the Houston. They're just not – it's not like you go into Seattle anymore and you're super worried. I think teams are going in there now with more confidence. And I think, the whole thing, when there's blood in the water, sharks come. when it rains, it pours, whatever you have. Like, I think there's people, even in that team, that locker room, starting to think that they're not as invincible as they used to be. And I think the whole allure with the Seahawks for a long time was that, like, they were the best. They truly believed that they were the best. What they were doing, everything was the greatest. And I think they've had some doubt. But I'll give credit to them, because when they have in the past, like, that was the Seahawks, right? They were the big bad Seahawks of the NFC. You didn't want to go and play them. I think there's little doubt in their minds, and it's changing a lot now where you're just not scared to play. I think it's going to be a good game, but with no Sherman, like, it's completely different. Like, Russell Wilson can do everything, but against a good defense, they're going to figure out ways to, Wilson's going to have to throw a lot, and he won't be able to get off because, you're going to spy him or whatnot. But we'll see next week. I'm just focused on the Chicago Bears.
I might go huge on that game on the Eagles. I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah, because Seahawks at home, you might for the Eagles.
It might be like 3 points.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true.
Perfect QB, says Jeremy Hansman. He says, perfect QB, Tom Brady's accuracy, Drew Brees' arm, and Russell Wilson's mobility. Personally, I would have Tom Brady's accuracy, I would have Aaron Rodgers' arm, and I would have Russell Wilson's mobility. That would be mine. Any changes to that, AC?
I don't care.
You don't care? Carson Wentz, just in general?
No, Donovan McNabb, man. Randall Cunningham. Donovan McNabb, man. He's got 3 years, man. He's got 4 to 5.
Okay, if you could make the ultimate
4 to 5 more champions.
The ultimate Eagles quarterback, what would you make?
Obviously, Vic mobility. Donovan McNabb's arm. And we'll go Carson Wentz's accuracy right now, because I think Carson Wentz has been accurate this season. But even going before that, maybe I'll go like Jeff Garcia's accuracy.
Not bad.
Maybe Jaworski. Ty Detmer was pretty fucking bogus.
Sonny Jurgensen. You gotta have him in there.
Yeah, Ron Jaworski. Jim McMahon.
Jaws.
Jim McMahon.
Okay.
No, and if it was my Mount Rushmore of Eagles backups would go, number 1 obviously is AJ Feely, legend. Number 2, Coy Detmer. He was just a little guy, like, he was epic. I go Coy Detmer. I go Doug Peterson.
Oh no!
And last one, I'll go Kevin Kolb, where he was.
Kevin Kolb?
Yeah, Kevin Kolb, legend. Supposed to take over from McNabb, man. Never happened. He was. Because that was the time we picked him in like the 2nd round or 3rd round or something like that. Yeah.
Man, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, dude. And then he went to Arizona for a bit before they got Palmer, right? Remember when Arizona started to be like a quarterback graveyard for a bit there after Warner?
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy.
Still kind of is.
Yeah, true. But at least Palmer's had the job for the last couple years.
Palmer had one really good year. Go said he'd be interested to see T.Y. Hilton in Chicago. I think T.Y. Hilton's sticking around. I don't think...
Because like what he said, with this team, I know Brissett has been playing well, but at the beginning of the season, I do think with luck, they're probably
you're not
like
going to trade. You're not going to trade away Andrew Luck's favorite player.
No, and I think just like even this season with luck, I think they're better than the Titans. Obviously, with Houston's injury, they're better than. And the thing, I think they could have contended in this division if they knew what has happened or transpired going forward with Houston's injuries. That I think it makes them better than them. I just think Luck gets it done. Obviously, he's thrown a lot of picks, and if you look at it, isn't like Frank Gore? I think Frank Gore's having a better season than he did last year.
He might be.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. It's like I just remember like getting Frank Gore the last couple of years in fantasy, and it's just like the worst.
Jeremy asked if the Jets will get Kirk Cousins.
I don't know, Jets. Like, I see him either in Denver or like the Steelers. I would like to see him go to the Steelers. if Ben retires and they just put in another great QB with those weapons that you still have for the next 5 years, I think that'd be interesting.
Rank the 4: Wentz, Watson, Prescott, Goff. I'll let you go first.
I'll go Wentz, Watson, Goff, Prescott.
Are we talking about right now? Or like where I think their career is going to go?
Let's go even career, then that's what I'd say. Even career, I'd still say that. Actually, no, I think I'm going
to go Watson first.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go Wentz.
Yeah, he looks good.
And then I'm going to go – it depends on the injury, though. That's a big thing. But those two are really close for first, and then it drops to third. Third, yeah. I personally feel that Prescott is the better quarterback than Goff, but Prescott's also playing in a worse system with worse players. So that's tough to say. But I would say that Prescott third and then Goff fourth, even though Goff has probably had a better season this year. That would be my list.
I just don't. Prescott showing his weakness. It's not about Tyron Smith. It's not about Sean Lee. It's about Ezekiel Elliott on that team.
Marcos says, Wentz best QB on third down.
It's true. It's pretty impressive, actually. I've never seen anything like it because I'm used to watching Eagles games where it's like third down, okay, incomplete pass, punt. Team goes down and scores.
Tyshawn Henderson says, I know this is random, but I know you don't like wrestling right now. Can you do a Raw review? No, we're not doing Raw reviews on this channel. We might do it. Later if it gets any better, but not right now. Sorry, man. Show, I just can't do it. I can't watch the whole show. I can't do it. Mr. Mike says we can still win our division, so done. Don't think so.
True. They technically still can because it's going to come down to Rams Seahawks regardless of what happens, regardless if every team like loses. It's going to come down to that game's going to decide who the division's going to go to. But I do think that Seattle's going to is more beaten up than the Rams. That I think the game does favor the Rams when they play, even if the Rams lose a couple games.
One guy that one Seahawks fan that has given up hope. He says, "I got Seahawks losing 49ers to the 49ers 34-10. Our season is done." Cry face. That's Jollywood.
Jollywood with the Skip Bayless move.
Yes,
you go from the best team ever to all of a sudden we're done.
Bro, those videos are hilarious with Skip Bayless.
Oh, I know. I've been watching every one of them. It's so awesome. And Shannon Sharp, like, obviously is not as smart as – because that's the one thing. I wish Shannon Sharp would, like –
was Stephen A.
Skip is so good at, like, turning things around, though. Even though Shannon Sharp knows he's right and knows – like Skip's looking like a clown and saying clown stuff.
Skip is amazing at taking an obscure argument and trying to flip it into something that actually seems logical.
Yeah. No, and then he's always just like, who do you have winning the NFC East and shit? like, oh yeah. And then Shannon Sharp is just like, he's not like the most articulate guy, but who is? Because I'm definitely not. But it's just awesome. He's just like, his mannerisms when he's clowning, he's just like, I had a great weekend. And at one time, he's like, show me this picture. And he's just got a hot chick. And it's just like, this is my weekend. Like, just epic. He's got like Colt 45s in his mouth and shit. Like, it's so awesome. That actually is my new favorite show, more so because, like, I was a fan of Max Kellerman on Sports Nation.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of him on First Take.
No.
And
he's just a Brady hater now.
Undisputed. You know what I also starting to like, too, is the one with Carter and Nick.
Oh, okay, with Cowherd?
No, with Carter. Chris Carter and Nick Wright.
Okay, Nick Wright's pretty interesting.
Yeah, but he's borderline Skip, though. Like,
I like it, though. I like it better with him, though.
But, like, he does admit when he's wrong a bit more. But he does like to be a contrarian and take kind of for certain times.
No,
like,
he's known as, like, the LeBron and OBJ guy. That's
like his for sure. That's you, man.
I don't know about that.
Man, you like the Flash. He's a Flash guy too.
Josh Gordon?
Yeah, right? Yeah, Josh Gordon's going to come back, man. Terrell Pryor, bro. Terrell Pryor's going to light up the Redskins.
Watch this shit. Josh Gordon's going to come back. He's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver.
And hey, Crowder had his best game, and without Pryor, maybe that was why.
Maybe that was it. Maybe I had 1 out of 2 right. Maybe it was it. What else we got here? Prescott should not be in that discussion, says Michael. Is Goff the Matt Ryan of last year? That's a good question. Yes. The quarterback that's
I haven't seen, like honestly,
I need to see Jared Goff outside of that system no more, because like
that's the thing. That's the one thing I would be afraid of if I was the Rams, and if Goff doesn't pan out, like how long he seems like a guy that could be there for a while. Obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm just saying, like, how long does it start where
I think McVay is a pretty bold guy, so I don't think like if he started to perform like terribly, Jared Goff, I think they would flip it pretty quick.
For sure. No, it'd be interesting. And that's what I said about the Rams. I would like to see more Rams games going down in the future, which I think I'll definitely watch the New Orleans game because I'm not working tomorrow because we switched days to filming on Monday. So I'll be able to actually watch a solid 1 o'clock game.
Are you doing Sunday Night Football recaps now or no?
Yeah, I might be able to. I've been on the last couple once. It's sometimes just Monday night. But what's tomorrow? Yeah, the Pittsburgh game, right? Or
Sunday night?
Yeah. Sunday is the Pittsburgh game, yeah, because the Monday game is the Ravens. Yeah, I'll probably be on. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that will be a boring game. I'm not sure. We're doing Saints and Rams.
Yeah, I can't be on the live recap, but
yeah, we're doing that. Me and Dilly. Jeremy says perfect team: Vikings defense, Saints offense, Cowboys O-line, Patriots coaching. I would say Patriots quarterback and coach. Saints O-line. Steelers weapons, maybe? Maybe still the Patriots there. I don't know.
But I think if you're going position, because like I would take, if it's just like Tom Brady and with his offense, it'd be hard to not take the New England offense. But I just think if you look at, I just want to say this argument. If you look at the way the Eagles have been able to mix up plays and get everyone involved, without a Tom Brady type player, I think you could argue that the Eagles have a very well-rounded offense that you would.
They do, but I wouldn't put them ahead of the Patriots.
No, but I'm just saying, like, how much is that Patriots just Tom Brady slinging the rock, like, to everyone and, like, no run game whatsoever? Like, if we got to talk about offense, we got to talk about, like, most teams want a balanced offense.
They do have a balanced offense.
Like, their run numbers aren't great. Like, like, if you count passes to the running back as a run game, yeah, they have the best in the league.
They have the best extended run game in the league.
Yeah, their running backs have great stats, but not running stats.
And defense, I'd go Jaguars for sure.
Yeah. Special teams, I'd go KC still.
KC? I would go with the returner, obviously.
And Auburn's is destroying Alabama right now.
Really? Jollywood says Pats versus Seahawks Super Bowl 52. Don't at me. He says we can beat the Eagles and the Vikings.
Wait, so that's this year though. 52 is this year.
Yes, that's what he says.
But I thought he said they're not making the playoffs.
I don't know. This guy's confused. He skipped Bayless.
Now they're making, yeah. I actually want the Cowboys to win one game. So Skip's like, we're not done. Like, imagine if when the Cowboys beat the Rams or something, or beat the Seahawks, he'll be like, we're the best.
I want to ask you this question because nobody has been with me all year, but do you think the Chargers are now going to make the playoffs?
Looking at their schedule, I think they have a better probability. Yeah.
Because honestly,
right now it's like, I'd say I give them like 55%. So I think it's more probable than not that they make the playoffs just because their schedule looks really crappy.
And they play the Chiefs, so they could still win the division and they could still make the wild card.
I still think they can make the playoffs with losing to the Chiefs.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because Baltimore is like, who knows with them? 1 week they'll be good, 1 week they won't. So it's between those two for the wild card, and then and even the Titans, who knows what's going to happen with them? Like, if they get upset one of these games. And yeah, so
yeah, because
I'm still with it. I'm still with 9-7. I'm still with it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so I think that's it for the Gridiron Gamble this week. Our picks, my picks were New England, Philadelphia, Buffalo, Carolina. Take those as you wish. And for AC, who did you have?
I got Tennessee -3 at Indiana. I got Carolina -5.5 at Jets. I got Jacksonville -5 at Arizona. So 3 road games taking the points. And then I got Pittsburgh at home -14 Sunday night, Green Bay Packers.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Mitch, AC, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and like the video. Peace out.